Okay, so I'm back and I'm ready to cut on my Imagine, so I'm going to go up and hit the go button right here in the corner. And when I do that, it's going to ask me what device I want to print with. Well, I'm going to use my Imagine, of course, and hit select device. And now it's going to take a few minutes to show a print preview. And the print preview is important because anything you see on your mat, that's what's going to pop up when you cut, even if there's an image there that's not supposed to be there. So this looks good. You can see this has dark black lines, which means it's going to cut that out, so that's perfect. I have the silhouette of the birdhouse and all the birds. Now you can see there's a border here, and it looks like the border between these two birds have kind of come together a little bit. So I am going to move that one bird down just a little bit so they're not touching. I don't want their patterns to get mixed up. And then what I do next is hit the go button up here. And it'll take a while for the communication to happen between your computer and your Imagine, but in that time frame it'll ask you if you have the cartridges plugged in that you need, and I need Stretch Your Imagination, that's a regular Cricut cartridge, and I need the Imagine cartridge, Lori's Garden, so it'll prompt me to put those in. I already have them stuck in my Imagine. So I'm going to move that bird by hitting Cancel Cut, and then I'm just going to select them and just move them down a little bit. That should be enough. And then again, I'm going to hit go. I want you to be able to see what happens from start to finish here. So select my Imagine again. Wait for the print preview. This takes a few seconds. And then over on the side panel here, you'll see it says Cricut mode. Print and cut, layer, all layers on one page, multi-cut, pressure cut, cut speed, and blade depth. I'm going to go over here and I want it on print and cut, which it says. I want all layers on one page, but I do want to change the pressure of my blade. It's on a 3 and I like to increase it, especially when I'm going through something this large. And then I hit go. And it says Lori's Garden cartridge was successfully detected. Now if you don't have your cartridge in there, it'll ask you for it, so that's okay too. You hit continue and then it says cartridge successfully detected, and that was the Stretch Your Imagination. And I'm going to hit continue again. Now you're going to get this screen that says preparing images. This may take a few minutes. It's not lying. It will take a few minutes. It takes a while for this to come up. But then once their communication happens, you'll get another picture of the Imagine come up, and it's got a sea star on it and a few other images, and then you'll know that you need to work from the Imagine. And when you work from the Imagine, it'll bring up the little go circle that you have to click, that it'll suck in your mat. And that's it. And then I'm going to show you how to do the accordion as well. Okay, I cut and printed on my Imagine, and look, it cut out and it's perfect. I'm so excited. Isn't that cool? Cricut Craftroom is going to be really awesome. I just know it. So there, I cut out both my tags and all the other pieces. So I'm just going to pull this off here, get all my pieces together, and then we will. I'll show you how to do the accordion part on the card or on the tag, and then we'll be done. Okay, so now I'm at my desk and I have all my pieces laid out. The tag and the birds and the little house silhouette. And now I have this extra piece that was left over from cutting these out on the Imagine. And I have pulled out my scoreboard here, and I'm going to line it up to the top. Now this is a little long, but I'm just going to do the whole thing, and then I can cut off any excess I don't need. And I am going to score every ½ inch. So a ½ inch, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, all the way down. And then once I do that, I'm going to flip over the piece and score at every ¼ inch all the way across, so that I have alternating patterns so I can fold it into an accordion. You know, it's just like making a fan when you were little. The scoreboard really helps with thick cardstock. So I'm going to score, and then I will show you what it looks like, and then we'll add it to our tag. Okay, so I've scored my paper. You can see the score lines in there. And now I'm just going to fold it like an accordion. This spot up, this spot down, all the way down. Now this can be harder with thicker cardstock, so if you want something a little bit easier do something thinner. I wanted to use this because of the shimmer on the one side. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it up, and then we will add it to our tag. Okay, so I finished the accordion. Here it is. And I actually had some extra. Now I'll give you a hint with this. I did this last night and it was really difficult for me to get it all folded into these little 1/4 inch folds. But today I scored it. So I'd score once and then I'd kind of go back and forth and score a few times, and it was so much easier to fold it into this accordion shape. So I would suggest doing that. And I made it so that the tag will fit over it. And now the best thing to do, according to Sheila at She's a Sassy Lady and Bobby from the Cricut Couple, is to really make sure the back of your tag is covered in tape. So I'm going to take my ATG gun and tape, right up to the edge and all around the whole tag, because the surface area that it's going to stick to, because it's ridgy like this and bumpy, you really want a good contact. So I'm going to put tape all around that I can with my ATG. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my glue and go around the edges. Now I have the Tombow Aqua Glue, and it will ruin the pattern if you get it on this. So I'm going to make sure that I do it all on the underneath side and try not to get any of it to squeeze out. And that's important to remember when you're working with papers with the Imagine, is that the colors, because they come from the inkjet, can smear with certain glues. And so I might try finding a different glue if that doesn't happen with. So I'm going to put it together and then I'll be back in a minute. I might ink the edges too, just for a little bit more of a vintage look. Okay, so I've placed adhesive on the back of my tag along with some glue, and I wanted to show you that before I did that I lined the two up and punched a hole in it. And now that I have my adhesive down, I'm going to place it onto the accordion paper here. But if you can see, I don't want the hole to go over the accordion. I'm going to leave that at the top so I have a place to put string and stuff through. So I'm going to attach this, leaving a space at the top for the accordion, and then I'll attach the back side too. Okay, so I've attached both tags to the accordion now. You can kind of see it there in the center. But you can see I have a little bit of overhang here and here, and a little bit there and there. So I'm simply going to take my scissors and kind of shove them up underneath here and cut that out. Okay, now I'm going to use my glue and add some adhesive to the back and set it on here gently and make sure I don't move it around so I don't mess up the ink. And then I'm also going to put this on here with some ink about right there. And then I'm going to take the bird and add some glue dots to the back and add that. But I'm not going to use glue for that. I think I'll use glue dots.